It's not a holiday yet. Who sent me these hawthorn cakes? I don't even eat hawthorn cakes. Oh, so this is the product. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Model Express channel. Today we're featuring the enlarged RG SAZABI from the Royal Kitchen. I must say, this manufacturer really went to great lengths to mitigate risk. They actually used a hawthorn cake box for the model. The advertising slogan is, "Even Char would say it's delicious." It's hilarious. However, due to the size of the box, all the parts are stacked. As some parts are easily deformed when enlarged, the manufacturer thoughtfully wrapped them in foam for cushioning, which I have to commend them for. Recently, there have been small-scale enlarged versions of similar models like the Red Zaku, SAZABI, and Zeong. I wonder if any manufacturers will follow suit with the RG new Gundam? However, there are many GK-style new Gundams, and I'm not sure if there's still a market for an enlarged RG version. So let's see if this enlarged SAZABI truly lives up to Char Aznable's reputation. First, let's look at the runner. The runner in this product performs quite well. All parts have a matte finish, with the gray parts showing the best performance, especially the larger ones. The parts have relatively concentrated piping lines, and the sharpness is acceptable, with no obvious flaws. Overall, the appearance is quite good. Like the Bandai, the red parts also feature slight color separation. They exhibit 2 shades of red, and while the detail is decent, the sharpness is only average. Although there are a few minor watermarks in some areas, the overall look is quite good. While some of the black parts didn't have a perfectly uniform surface texture and exhibited a slightly excessive amount of watermarks, overall they were still acceptable. At least among KO model products, they were considered above average. Bandai's original products also incorporated the RG series' long-standing tradition of a one-piece molded frame. This time, the kit manufacturer used black for several parts, primarily on the hips, wrists, and shoulder armor. Currently, the tightness and feel are quite good, with no noticeable looseness. The remaining small colored parts include a yellow runner and 3 transparent effect parts. The overall appearance of these parts is quite good, and I'm generally satisfied. If I had to find fault, some of the sprue marks are slightly large, and a few sprue mark designs are somewhat flawed. Otherwise, there aren't any major issues. After assembly, there are virtually no large sprue marks left on the exterior. What do you all think of this product? Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. The overall assembly of the model is quite good. The only part to pay attention to is the eye monitor assembly. It is indeed a bit tight, so it's best to use tools for assistance. Other large parts may feel a bit tight when assembled, but this can be easily resolved by adjusting the slots and aligning them properly before installation. The funnel base on the product I received feels a bit loose. Sometimes when changing hand shapes, the funnel might even fall off. This is the biggest problem I found so far, and I hope the manufacturer can fix it in a future version. Next, let's take a look at the skeleton. Thanks to the fairly good parts, the overall appearance and detail of the skeleton are quite good. However, since it's simply an enlarged version, there's no difference in functionality or detail compared to the original RG. While the head has a separate cockpit part, it still lacks detailed depictions of the cockpit's interior. Also, Char's minifigure isn't included, which is a real shame. The kit includes a metallic detail sticker sheet for adding embellishments to various areas. You can choose to apply it according to your preference. After installing the outer armor, you'll have the complete Fengda RG SAZABI model kit. This enlarged version is approximately 1/100th scale. We'll compare it to the Verka to see the size difference. The enlarged SAZABI is slightly taller than the Verka, and its appearance is exactly like the original RG SAZABI. Overall, the enlarged model is superior to the RG version. Because of the larger size, we can clearly see the details, though they seem less pronounced than in the smaller scale. The model also feels somewhat simpler overall, lacking the visual richness of the Verka SAZABI. The color separation isn't particularly noticeable either. Regarding the form, because the torso is much smaller, I personally feel the RG enlarged version is more agile and nimble than the Verka version. We can also see that the 2 SAZABI models have quite different styles. Recently, Dabin's Verka SAZABI also had a price reduction, making their prices quite similar. Many people are asking whether to choose this RG enlarged version or Dabin's Verka. If we're only talking about appearance, I can't give a definitive answer, as everyone's perception of a model's appearance is different. It's a matter of personal preference. However, from the perspective of product quality and assembly, I would lean towards this enlarged RG SAZABI. The kit also includes a water decal, allowing those who find the appearance too simple to choose from to add some embellishments. But I have another suggestion. This model is definitely excellent material for practicing model modification. Let's take a closer look at the details. Since SAZABI's head isn't particularly complex, and this is an enlarged version, there aren't many issues with the appearance. The unfolding mechanism at the top of the head is also faithfully reproduced. However, what's rather surprising is that when you pinch the outer armor on either side of SAZABI's cheeks, the eyes and mask automatically pop open. Did the manufacturer add a hidden, interconnected mechanism? The internal eye monitor and the overhead monitor are highlighted with stickers because the transparent parts in these two locations are integrated into the effect runner. Users can choose different colored transparent parts to install according to their own preferences. Let's take a look at the accessories and how to use them. Overall, aside from the absence of the Char Aznable soldier figure, the accessories are identical to those of the RG SAZABI. Let me briefly introduce them. First, the hands. There's a pair of clenched fist hands, a pair of grip hands, a pair of open palm hands, and a gun-holding hand. Replacing and removing the hands is very tight, requiring considerable force. The grip hands and gun-holding hand have a movable joint at the base, allowing them to rotate and adjust, which should be sufficient for everyday use. The weaponry includes a beam rifle. The grip and the small gray front component are movable. The rifle is very stable when mounted. The shield is attached to the side of the forearm via a connector with a movable joint to adjust the shield's direction. A beam tomahawk is mounted on the inner frame of the shield, and two sets of fluorescent green effect parts are included for customizable combinations. However, as previously mentioned, this kit also includes a set of completely transparent effect parts. Based on my previous suggestion, these transparent parts can be used to create effects by spraying green clear paint. Although the model is enlarged to over 1/100th scale, the beam sword hilt storage at the cuffs still doesn't accurately reflect the original design. These parts remain styling parts. To actually hold it, you'll need to use the included beam sword hilt. The effect parts are the same as the beam axe, so I won't go into detail. Finally, there's one remaining stand connector. This part is also enlarged, so naturally, a standard 1/144th scale stand won't fit. I experimented many times with existing stands and finally found that only the Dabin 88 series stand with its MB-like design can be used. The size is just right for this enlarged connector. It seems the manufacturer simply enlarged it and forgot to adjust the 3mm standard hole size. Those familiar with the RG SAZABI know that this mobile suit includes several external armor deployment structures, a design that has been faithfully reproduced in this product. These are primarily located on the front and back of the shoulder armor, the edges of the shoulder armor, the groin armor, the side skirt armor, both sides of the rear skirt armor, the funnel base, the center and sides of the backpack, and the outer armor of the thighs. Because the structure is relatively simple, the deployment of these parts was very smooth in this product. The funnel on the back can be removed, and the funnels on both sides can be pressed to automatically pop open, which is also restored. Because the size has increased, this way of playing is also more convenient. That concludes the gameplay overview of this enlarged version of the Royal Kitchen SAZABI. This product faithfully recreates most of the core gameplay elements expected of the RG SAZABI. However, one regrettable point is the lack of a long-range beam rifle. I haven't purchased the Verka product, so I don't know if it can be used with this KO set. Hopefully, someone with the capability can test it and provide feedback in the comments. Next, let's look at the performance of the joint structure. Many friends are curious whether the C-joint of the RG SAZABI has been optimized in this product. The answer is, unfortunately, the manufacturer has not optimized it. It basically maintains the original structure of the RG. Although it feels quite nice to play with on its own, when posing in a standing position, the C-joint of the foot is still very easy to move, causing instability, which is indeed a bit annoying. It is a small design flaw in the RG SAZABI. The model feels a bit stiff at some joints, but overall it's very sturdy. Even when holding the leg alone, the knee joint doesn't feel loose when bent. This performance is quite unexpected. Here's a simple demonstration of the joint mobility. The head has multiple joints, offering excellent range of motion. The base of the head is connected to the chest, with a slight upward movement that allows for easy downward-looking poses. Both shoulders have extendable joints, allowing for a wide range of forward movement when extended, while also providing some horizontal lifting effect. The shoulder armor is a single molded part, with a semi-open ring fitting onto the shoulder connector, providing an independent lifting joint. The front and rear shoulder armor are connected by C-hooks, allowing for both vertical movement and selective rotation. However, the rotation joints are quite tight and prone to disengagement. Adjustments are possible on the edges of the shoulder armor and the small nozzle frames on the sides. The overall arm rotation is fine, with a slight extension slightly beyond 90 degrees when raised horizontally. The upper arm can rotate 360 degrees, and the elbow flexion and return design features two joint segments, allowing the hand to touch the shoulder without interference. After locking and stretching the upper arm, a greater range of motion is achieved. There is a hydraulic rod linkage structure on the upper side of the upper arm, but the discontinuous structure below the elbow is somewhat noticeable. Removing the outer armor at the front of the arm unlocks the internal latches, allowing for a stretching mechanism at the wrist. There are two main joints in the waist that allow for movement. The bending part is concentrated in the middle of the waist, but the range of motion is relatively small. However, the side swinging part, even though it is integrated into the one-piece molded hip frame, has a very large range of motion, and the joints currently feel quite solid. Both the front and side skirt armors have two movable sections, and there is also a lateral outward pull-out structure on the one-piece molded frame. The back skirt armor can be lifted up, and there is a buckle at the lower part of the crotch area. Unlocking it will enable a hip pull-down enhancement. The leg kicks far exceed 90 degrees, and the side kicks reach 90 degrees. Due to the increased weight of various parts of the model after being enlarged, the side kick joint is slightly loose. Although it doesn't affect daily handling, I still recommend reinforcing it appropriately during assembly. There is a rotational joint at the base of the thigh, and two joints when bending the knee, allowing for a bend of about 120 degrees, which is sufficient for posing. There is also a linkage mechanism on the outer side of the kneecap. The front and lateral outer plates of the lower leg each have a built-in double segment joint, allowing for a small range of motion. The upper side of the ankle integrates a rotational joint and a grounding joint, while the lower side has a forward and backward motion joint. The foot is divided into 4 segments, offering a high degree of flexibility. Overall, I think this enlarged RG SAZABI set is quite good. The parts look nice, and the fit is decent. There aren't any details that have been cut or haphazardly altered. It's well-rounded in all aspects. My main reason for buying it was that it's a great testing ground for model modification techniques, such as panel lining and creative customization. The price is reasonable, the quality is acceptable, and it offers ample space for practice. If you're just collecting, I suggest waiting a while, as new release prices are generally slightly inflated. Okay, that concludes this review video. Please follow my channel, like, and share. See you in the next video.